The again simplest answer to this is that the chronomatographer will hopefully through this program, and this will happen to a very few, will find liberation. Now liberation means is a philosophical word in that sense, मोक्ष बोलते हैं ना, जिसके लिए तो सब भाग रहे हैं, but will find liberation, not liberation from any philosophical thing, liberation from this question, which means liberation from this burden, that burden, some word called career. So today this question comes from, I can smell the let me call it the boo or the badbu or the not the fragrance but the bad odor of the burdensome word called career. Today this question comes from assuming that career is a burden. I have to have a career in order to live. Why? You have a life that is good enough. You don't need a career. So I am saying for few, what they will gain is liberation from this, the bother or the danda called career. तो आप करियर से मुक्त हो जाओगे. अब चाहिए क्या? करियर चाहते ही नहीं हो आप तो मुक्त हो गए हो, करियर नहीं चाहते हो ना. तो ये सबसे बड़ी प्राप्ति है. This will be the biggest, but that will happen to very few. For many others who will continue to remain, will not pay heed to all that I have to give them or try to give them during the program. They will not be able to pay heed because they will pay heed to everything else that is going on in the society, everything else that others are saying, everything else that is different from this program. You had an earlier question, how is it different? So everything that is different, they will push people to believe, to remain under the tyranny of career. Unke liye also there will be something or the other. They will make more money after they go through this program. If they have the capacity to make X, my simple answer will be that after going through the program, they will have a capacity to make some multiple of X. For someone it will be 2x, someone it will be 3x, someone it will be 4x, etc.
The content industry is shifting. AI, short attention span, fast changing platforms. How does this course prepare students for these changes?
As I said, the whole program is to respond to the change. However, the way the changes have been described in this question actually proves the point that I am making, because everyone is thinking that they know how it is changing. Hence the question has been put about short attention span and all that. It is already proven that in fact just before the start of this particular shooting session, I took special time out to make this specific point to people who have penned down these questions, including Shreyashi, who really believes that she knows it, to show her a demo of a particular video that has been seen by hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people, and that has an intro. It's almost a 2-hour interview with just two people interviewing. There's no great production value, nothing much in terms of two people sitting in front of each other and just talking. And that's about a 2-hour video. But the introduction to this video, the anchor, who's kind of just like you are asking questions, in that case the person who's asking the questions, the anchor gives us almost a 7-minute introduction to the interview itself. So where is the short attention span? Of course, Shreyashi, who I was forcing to see this whole thing, she was losing her patience once in a while and saying, "Acha, acha, bujhegachi, can you fast forward and see what you are trying to say?" I said, there is nothing else to show. I am just trying to show you the intro itself is 7-minute intros are now there. They were never possible in the age of television, mainstream television earlier. Now is there, and she continued to say, no, our target audience are young students and all that, who have shot at it. But there are young students who have seen that video. Ram, who was around, he actually clarified that most of the target audience of that video was also young students and young people. So it's all moh or bhram, which people think that they know that the changes are bringing in only short attention spans, and hence most of the attention about content creation etc. is being misdirected in that direction. That is completely incorrect. There are all kinds of needs for people's to give their attention to. Sometimes if I'm trying to let's say I am a mechanic of a particular heat exchanger, it's an industrial system, okay, or a boiler. Heat exchanger is slightly difficult. Boiler sabko pata hai. Boiler is those places in, you know, those big kind of tanks within which within industries, within factories, liquids are boiled. So a boiler is a big tank and it has lot of instruments and this that. Supposing you are a mechanic who earns his living by, you know, repairing boilers that have gone wrong, some problem ho gaya. Supposing you have been called to some boiler manufacturer has supplied boilers to a factory in Dubai or in Middle East and from India, and you are that mechanic who knows how to repair when it goes wrong. And supposing there is something goes wrong and they have contacted the manufacturer and you have been sent there to repair it. But वहाँ जाके आप देखो ऐसा कुछ हो गया है which is, you know, you didn't know how to do. Obviously what you do is you connect using this and you watch videos and all that, or you connect with other experts. The big expert would have cost more money to send there, so they have sent you, but you are not able to do it, so you connect with a bigger expert and you use this to actually show it to them etc. To the expert what is going on, what is the problem. You do video conferencing, which is all audiovisual medium. You know how you are showing it, what is happening. If the other expert from the other side has to first battle with you and give you 10 galis, अरे ठीक से video दिखाओ ना, दिख नहीं रहा है, अरे कहाँ दिखा रहे हो, इधर क्यों कर रहे हो? If that is what is going on between you and the expert, then where are you collaborating? You know, so your ability to understand the grammar of this, that how that expert, you have to use this camera to actually now communicate with the expert who's sitting somewhere else to solve your problem. That is, you're being sent there, you are not being able to repair that damn boiler, but you have this. So you have to know how to actually do the video, what kind of thing and all that, how to frame it, how to compose it, how not to take it too close to the boiler when it is hot, so that this ye khatam hi ho gaya, yehi jal gaya, etc. So many things can happen. Now you do that. Now that is not the end of it. I am saying that process, what you go through, becomes actually a feed or an input for a particular AI tool, which will now learn how you went through this whole experience. You and that expert and that whole factory and the manufacturer went through this whole experience, and this will become a feed into an AI tool, which will then convert it, analyze it and convert it into a piece of learning. Because what an AI software algorithm is able to do is to learn things much better than human beings learn. They can learn much faster and huge capacity to learn. So this experience of yours is actually now going to be a feed into AI. If you don't know that, then you have only gone and made money by repairing the machine. But if you know this, how to do this, then you have done two things. You have been a mechanic for the repairing that machine, plus you have been an acharya for AI. You have taught AI what to do. So next time, and not only you, 10 and hundreds of people like you who are doing these things, going about their lives doing things, are actually providing audiovisual data, which now AI can look into and analyze things for posterity. 100 years later, AI will be able to give this, your experience in that factory in Dubai, to another, your great-grandson or someone's great-grandson, your friend's great-grandson who is, needs that particular thing, will be able to juxtapose this with something else that is going to happen 50 years later, etc. And so all these possibilities, if people don't understand and they think that since they know, they have learned this term called, this has now brought in change and changed people's attention spans, etc. That is not true. The future of digital content creation is cannot be seen. There is no future. It is all past, or whatever is going on is what will go on, until and unless people recognize what is new and learn what I am calling chronomatography. Someone else can call it something by some other name. There is no problem with that. I am not saying the name chronomatography is the final future thing. People will call it with 100 different names, just like someone who practices Hinduism calls dharma as Hindu dharma, someone calls it Sanatan dharma, someone calls Islam dharma, someone calls Parsi dharma, some Jain dharma, Sikh dharma, Christian dharma, all that. But ultimately it is all dharma. In that same way, and dharma against adharma, in the same way, the future of digital content creation is chronomatography, which is nothing but the future of digital creation. I am calling it chronomatography. Someone will call it pronomatography, someone will call it drenomatography, someone will call it something else. But this is the future. And I am not saying that I have all the answers for the future. But all that I am saying is that I have, and we have here, we are offering a launchpad, a starting point from where together we can start a journey. And through this, we will create the future of digital content creation.